Hey there. I want to read to you the book of Nehemiah. And while reading it to you, I don't know if I'm definitely not going to get it all in like one sitting, I don't think. Because based on this, it's a lot like with what happened yesterday. Donald Trump became the 45th president of the United States of America. And he talked in his inaugural address of about defending the borders, building up the military, building the wall, and things like that. And well, I don't recall hearing so much talk about that, but you know, and if you read the book of Nehemiah, it has a lot of interesting parallels to with what he was saying. Um, or in another way, what he said has a lot of parallels with the book of Nehemiah. So I'm going to read some of it and try to point out, if I can, the parallel of his our goal as the people of the United States, strengthening our security, things of that nature, um, cutting down on immigration, keeping the people who didn't need to be here out. Also, as well as those who would fleece their fellow citizens. How about that? The riflemen. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and read this. This is the words of Nehemiah, the son of Hakaliah. And it came to pass in the month of Chislew, in the 20th year, as I was in Shushan, the palace. Hang on one second. I gotta let my dog in. Anyway, I'll follow up with that reading here in just a second. Okay. All right. That Hanani, one of my brethren, came, he and certain men of Judah, and I asked them concerning the Jews that had escaped, which were left of the captivity, and concerning Jerusalem. And they said unto me, the remnant that are left of the captivity there in the province are in great affliction and reproach. The wall of Jerusalem also is broken down, and the gates thereof are burned with fire. And it came to pass, when I heard these words, that I sat down and wept, and mourned certain days, and fasted, and prayed before the God of heaven, and said, I beseech thee, O Lord God of heaven, the great and terrible God, that keepeth covenant and mercy for them that love him and observe his commandments, let thine ear now be attentive, and thine eyes open, that thou mayest hear the prayer of thy servant, which I pray before thee now, day and night, for the children of Israel, thy servants, and confess the sins of the children of Israel, which we have sinned against thee. Both I and my father's house have sinned. And we sin every day, don't we? We have dealt very corruptly against thee, and have not kept thy commandment, the commandments, nor the statutes, nor the judgments which thou commandest thy servant Moses. Remember, I beseech thee, the word that thou commandest thy servant Moses, saying, if ye transgress, I will scatter you abroad among the nations. But if ye turn unto me, and keep my commandments, and do them, though there were of you cast out unto the uttermost part of the heaven, yet will I gather them from thence, and will bring them unto the place that I have chosen to set my name there. Now these are thy servants and thy people, whom thou hast redeemed by thy great power and by thy strong hand. O Lord, I beseech thee, let now thine ear be attentive to the prayer of thy servant, and to the prayer of thy servants, who desire to fear thy name, and prosper, I pray thee, thy servant this day, and grant him mercy in the sight of this man, for I was the king's cupbearer. Okay. Chapter 2. And it came to pass in the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of Artaxerxes the king, that wine was before him, and I took up the wine, and gave it unto the king. Now I had not been beforetime set in his presence. Wherefore the king said unto me, Why is thy countenance sad, seeing thou art not sick? This is nothing else but sorrow of heart. Then I was very sore afraid, and said unto the king, Let the king live forever. Why should not my countenance be sad, when the city, the place of my father's sepulchres, lieth waste, and the gates thereof are consumed with fire? Then the king said unto me, turn the page first, For what dost thou make request? And so I prayed to the God of heaven. And I said unto the king, If it please the king, and if thy servant have found favor in thy sight, that thou wouldest send me unto Judah, unto the city of my father's sepulchres, that I may build it. And the king said unto me, for the queen also sitting by him, For how long shall thy journey be, and when wilt thou return? So it pleased the king to send me, and I set him a time. Moreover I said unto the king, If it please the king, let letters be given me to the governor, to the governors beyond the river, that they may convey me over till I come into Judah. And I had a letter unto Asaph, the keeper of the king's forest, that he may give me timber to make beams for the gates of the palace, which appertain to the house, and for the wall of the city, and for the house that I shall enter into. And the king granted me according to the good hand of my God upon me. Then I came to the governor beyond the river, and gave them the letters. Try this again. Then I came to the governors beyond the river, and gave them the king's letters. Now the king had sent captains of the army and horsemen with me. When Sanballat the Horonite and Tobiah the servant of the Ammonite heard of it, it grieved them exceedingly that there was come a man to seek the welfare of the children of Israel. Now isn't that very similar, that there came a man who seeks the welfare of America? Everybody's fussing and arguing and saying, no, he's deplorable, he can't be the president, Donald Trump, but yet he is. He's the president. He doesn't speak with a eloquence. He doesn't speak with all these Greek and Latin words. He uses plain speech, as we see in Ezra 4:18 and throughout the Bible. He speaks very plainly. Let's see here. So I came to Jerusalem and was there 3 days. And I rose in the night, I and some few men with me. Neither told I any man what my God had put in my heart to do at Jerusalem. Neither was there any beast with me, save the beast that I rode upon. And I went out by night by the gate of the valley, even before the dragon well, into the dung port, and viewed the walls of Jerusalem, which were broken down, and the gates thereof were consumed with fire. Notice now, Jerusalem is ruined. It's a waste. It has no defenses. The gates are consumed with fire, burned up. It has no walls. These walls are thrown down, burnt stones. They say that burnt stones are pretty strong. They're stronger somehow or another. Then I went on to the gate of the fountain and to the king's pool, but there was no place for the beast that was under me to pass. Then I went up in the night by the brook and viewed the wall and turned back and entered by the gate of the valley and so turned. And the rulers knew not whither I went or what I did. Neither had I as yet told it to the Jews, nor to the priests, nor to the nobles, nor to the rulers, nor to the rest that did the work. Let's see here. Okay. I kind of lost my spot. Oh. Then said I unto them, Ye see the distress that we are in, how Jerusalem lieth waste, and the gates thereof are burned with fire. Come, and let us build up the wall of Jerusalem, that we be no more a reproach. And that's what we are as America, a reproach, because we're letting all kind of immigrants in, and everything, and they're not even legal. They get all kind of welfare and benefits and everything, and they take advantage. Some of them take advantage of the system, some of them don't, but some of them do. And it's amazing now to me that a lot of high schools around here teach Spanish, and you have to take Spanish. Why? Why do we have to take Spanish? There's no sense in it. We speak English. Let's teach English. You know what I mean? Not the slang English, but the proper English. Why do we need to know? Spanish should be an elective. But my son was telling me, I think he said something other. He didn't have to take Spanish this year. He had to take it some other time. But anyway, you see what I'm saying? Is that because of dealing with immigrants that are here illegally? I mean, I can understand if they're kids or something, or the women and children, then we should help them. That's what we're called to do. But men who don't want to get jobs and support their families while their women and children are here, then they need to go back to where they came from, unfortunately for them, unless they can get here legally and and not sit around and let the government pay for them to be here. And if they can help it, and if they need help, yeah, we give it to them, but they got to be here legally. But anyway, I know that's kind of off the beaten track there, but anyway, let's see here. That's what we are. Our defense, our military is pretty small. Our walls, our borders are pretty thin and weak and crumbled. And that's why we need to rebuild our walls. That's why we need to rebuild our own Jerusalem and to keep everything within the walls. To going out, from people coming in and taking what is ours. And vice versa. We need to keep jobs here within the United States of America and not ship them overseas or into another country, because it's only going to benefit the people who are without and not the people who are within. Let's see here. So then I told them of the hand of my God, which was good upon me, as also the king's words that he had spoken unto me. And they said, Let us rise up and build. So they strengthened their hands for this good work. Citizens helping each other, citizens helping one another build the wall back up, establish the borders of the city of Jerusalem, so others wouldn't come in and take what little they had. You know what I mean? That's what it's about, and that's what we need to be doing as Americans. establishing our borders and say, that's far enough further. You can't come in here and take what is ours for our citizens. It belongs to us. If you want to come in a legal way, fine. We'll help you out on that. But you can't come in here illegally and take what is ours. You have to become a citizen. You have to be part of of the people. Let's see here. But when Sanballat the Horonite and Tobiah the servant, the Ammonite, and Geshem the Arabian heard it, they laughed us to scorn and despised us and said, what is this thing that ye do? Will ye rebel against the king? King? Oh boy. Somebody trying to start a protest. Somebody that's trying to make Nehemiah and those who are trying to do a good work look bad. You know? Then answered I them and said unto them, the God of heaven, he will prosper us. Therefore we his servants will arise and build. But ye have no portion, nor right, nor memorial in Jerusalem. In other words, you don't belong here. This ain't got nothing to do with you. This isn't your country. You want to help us? Be quiet. You know, pretty much. And they were just troublemakers, rebel rousers. They were just trying to get the king to make him stop building. Chapter 3, it says, in Eliashib, the high priest, rose up with his brethren, the priests, and they builded the sheep gate. They sanctified it, and set up the doors of it, even unto the tower of Meah. They sanctified it unto the tower of Hananel. The next unto him builded the men of Jericho, and the next to them builded Zakur, the son of Imri. But the fish gate did the sons of Hasaniah build, and who also laid the beams thereof, and set up the doors thereof, the locks thereof, and the bars thereof. And next unto them repaired Meremoth, the son of Urijah, the son of Koz, and next unto them repaired Meshulam, the son of Berechiah, the son of Meshezabel, and next unto them repaired Zadok, the son of Bana, and next unto them the Tekoites repaired, but their nobles put not their nobles put not their necks to the work of the Lord. Their nobles didn't have nothing to do with it, but they were part of Israel, right? And there are a lot of people in our country like that today. They like, oh, they talk. They're like it's celebrities in this part. That's when they dig exactly who they like. They're like celebrities. They want to talk and everything, and they act great on the movie screen, but when it comes to real life, they're not going to help. And they're not going to help make America great again. So, anyway, that's who they are. Not every celebrity is like that, but I'm just making reference to most of them, at least, who give Donald Trump a hard time. And next unto them repaired Melatiah, and the Gibeonite, and Jadon, the Meronothite, the men of Gibeon, and Mizpah unto the throne of the governor on this side of the river. So I'm going to stay right here, and I'll read some more here later on, and try to finish as much as I can. But man, you'll see such a parallel of what Donald Trump is trying to do for America to make America great again, and you'll see the parallel compared with same thing with we as America with Nehemiah's time in Jerusalem, when they were coming back after 70 years, whenever they coming back, to build a second temple, to build up the walls, and for to keep the people who would exploit them out. But anyway, that's what I'm gonna do for right now, and we'll see you later.